Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. These aren't just poetic words. They are a commandment for greatness. A battle cry for anyone bold enough to believe in their own power. But here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they never take the first step. They live imprisoned, not by bars, but by invisible chains of hesitation, self-doubt, and fear. You know what I'm talking about. That quiet voice that says, "Not yet. You're not ready. Maybe someday." It's the same voice that whispers when opportunity knocks, and you freeze. You think it's logic, but it's fear in disguise. Napoleon Hill exposed that fear. He named it poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, death. These 6 basic fears are the architects of mediocrity, and they thrive every time you choose comfort over courage. You have dreams, big ones. Starting a business, writing that book, changing your life. But instead of taking action, you wait. You wait for motivation to show up like some divine lightning bolt. Stop waiting. Motivation is a liar. It shows up only after you move, not before. Hill knew this. That's why he preached definiteness of purpose, a laser focus, a mind trained to act, not to wish. Because procrastination isn't harmless. It's a thief. It steals your time, your energy, your potential. Every moment you delay, you trade a piece of your future for a sliver of comfort. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let fear write your story? How many dreams must die before you finally rise? The only way to build mental strength is to act, especially when fear is screaming. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. And that's the path to greatness Hill laid out. Clear, unapologetic, relentless. But Hill knew that motivation is unreliable. It's built through auto-suggestion, where positive self-talk reprograms your subconscious. Picture someone dreaming of a new job but holding back for the right time, only to watch opportunities slip away. This reliance on fleeting emotions keeps you in a loop of mental weakness, as Hill observed in the lives of unsuccessful people. Then there's the failure to decide, which Hill saw as a major thief of mental energy. Indecision scatters your focus, turning what could be progress into a fog of doubt and missed chances. Hill described doubt as a mental poison that weakens your resolve, much like how it did for those who never achieved greatness in his studies. Fear and uncertainty amplify this, rooted in Hill's 6 basic fears that manifest as hesitation in everyday life. Take the fear of failure. It creates a feedback loop of exhaustion, where uncertainty grows stronger with each delay. Yet, Hill's solution is simple. View fear as a temporary obstacle and train your mind to push through it, just as his role models like Andrew Carnegie did. The real solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill emphasized with his principle of definite action. When you act, even if it's imperfect, you build mental momentum that turns hesitation into habit. Each small step strengthens your neural pathways, making future decisions feel easier and fostering unbreakable resilience. Hill taught that action is the bridge between thought and achievement, transforming your mind from reactive to proactive. To strengthen decisiveness, surround yourself with a mastermind alliance, as Hill suggested, drawing support from like-minded people. Try his definite chief aim technique. Write down a clear decision and review it daily to build mental discipline. Start with something simple, like a 5-minute ritual to decide on one task, training your mind against hesitation. Remember, the first step is always the hardest. but it's the one that forges your mental strength, as Hill's self-made millionaires proved. For instance, if fear of public speaking holds you back, sign up for a class today. That single action begins to dissolve the discomfort. Overcoming hesitation means facing fear head-on, using Hill's auto-suggestion to transmute negative emotions into positive energy. Acknowledge the fear, visualize your success as Hill recommended, and act anyway, retraining your mind for resilience. Hill viewed failure not as an end, but as a teacher, much like Thomas Edison's countless experiments that led to breakthroughs. Reframe failure as feedback in your mind, building toughness through repeated exposure and persistence. As Hill insisted, persistence turns failures into stepping stones, strengthening your ability to bounce back stronger. At the core of all this is self-discipline, which Hill called the foundation of all achievements. Discipline trains your mind for long-term strength, not depending on fleeting emotions but on daily habits. Think of successful people like Hill's role models, who woke up early and tackled tasks regardless of how they felt, wiring their minds for success. To build this, practice positive habits. Dedicate 10 minutes a day to auto-suggestion affirmations or schedule action blocks for your goals. Keep a journal to track your disciplined actions, as Hill advised, reinforcing mental pathways and measuring your progress toward fortitude. None of this works without clear vision and goals, which Hill said fuel intrinsic motivation and provide direction. Vague goals lead to mental drift, but specific ones, visualized as already achieved, ignite your resolve and turn desires into reality. So, start today. Write down one definite goal, take that first action, and practice Hill's techniques. Remember, as he said, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. As Napoleon Hill powerfully stated in Think and Grow Rich, setting the foundation for building unbreakable mental strength. In our daily lives, mental barriers like hesitation and procrastination hold us back, rooted in Hill's 6 basic fears that create a cycle of inaction and self-doubt. Imagine someone dreaming of starting their own business but feeling paralyzed by the fear of failure, a common trap that weakens the mind's resolve. These fears, such as the dread of criticism or poverty, stem from Hill's observations of how they sabotage potential and keep us stuck in mediocrity. The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment only reinforces weakness, as Hill emphasized that action is the true catalyst for change. By adopting a definite purpose, as Hill taught, we train our minds to focus on goals rather than fleeting emotions, turning hesitation into progress. Procrastination, Hill's declared enemy of opportunity, thrives on indecision, but overcoming it starts with small, deliberate steps toward mental fortitude. What if you could break free from this cycle, just as Hill's successful role models did, by training your mind to act despite the fear? Many people wait endlessly for motivation to strike, but Hill revealed that true mental strength comes from auto-suggestion, reprogramming your subconscious through positive self-talk. Relying on emotions keeps you trapped, as Hill noted. Instead, successful individuals use action to build momentum and shatter mental inertia. For instance, someone delaying a job application in hopes of feeling ready only deepens their doubt, creating a feedback loop of weakness. Hill's principle of definite decisions is key here. Indecision scatters your mental energy, much like a ship without a rudder drifting aimlessly in a storm. Indecisive people, as Hill observed, rarely achieve greatness because doubt acts as a mental poison, eroding confidence and resolve over time. Fear and uncertainty, 2 of Hill's basic fears, manifest as constant hesitation, blocking the path to your full potential. Drawing from Hill's interviews with figures like Andrew Carnegie, we see how fear of failure can be overcome through bold, immediate action. This fear creates a vicious loop, leading to exhaustion and missed opportunities. But Hill's solution is to view it as a temporary obstacle you can train your mind to surpass. The power of action lies in its ability to align with Hill's teachings, where even imperfect steps build mental momentum and create positive feedback loops. As Hill wrote, action is the bridge between thought and achievement, training your mind to handle challenges with growing resilience. Each small action strengthens neural pathways, making future decisions easier and forging an unbreakable mental core. To strengthen decisiveness, embrace Hill's mastermind concept by surrounding yourself with supportive allies who reinforce your choices and build discipline. Practice Hill's definite chief aim technique. Write down a clear decision and review it daily, training your mind against hesitation and fostering mental clarity. Start with a simple ritual, like dedicating 5 minutes each morning to decisive planning, as Hill advised to combat procrastination effectively. Taking the first step, as Hill championed in his stories of self-made millionaires, breaks the inertia that holds you back from your goals. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, sign up for a class today. It's that initial action that trains your mind to conquer discomfort. Remember, as Hill said, the first step is the hardest, but it's the one that ignites the fire of mental strength within you. Facing fear head-on, as per Hill's teachings, dissolves its power through autosuggestion and visualization, turning negative emotions into fuel for success. Begin by acknowledging your fear, then visualize your triumph, as Hill recommended, and act anyway to retrain your mind for resilience. Learning from failure is essential. Hill viewed it as a teacher, not a defeat, as seen in Thomas Edison's relentless pursuit despite countless setbacks. Reframe failure in your mind as valuable feedback, building toughness through repeated exposure and Hill's principle of persistence. Each failure strengthens your mental resolve, teaching you to bounce back with greater determination and unyielding focus. Discipline is the cornerstone of success, as Hill asserted, training your mind to rely on habits rather than unreliable emotions. Hill believed discipline is cultivated through daily routines, forming the foundation for all achievements and mental endurance. Think of disciplined individuals like Hill's role models, who rose early and tackled tasks head-on, wiring their minds for consistent victory. To build positive habits, incorporate Hill's auto-suggestion sessions, spending just 10 minutes a day on affirmations to reinforce your mental strength. Schedule action blocks in your routine for key tasks, as Hill suggested, turning discipline into a habitual practice that powers your goals. Keep a journal to track your disciplined actions, measuring progress and solidifying mental pathways, just as Hill advised for long-term growth. Clear vision and goals are what fuel intrinsic motivation, according to Hill's definite chief aim, providing direction and sharpening your mental focus. Vague goals lead to mental drift and wasted energy, but specific ones, as Hill taught, ignite a powerful drive toward achievement. Use visualization techniques from Hill. Imagine your goals as already accomplished, strengthening your mind's resolve and turning dreams into reality. To create your vision, follow Hill's framework by writing a definite statement of purpose, starting with a big goal like overcoming career obstacles. Break it down into actionable steps, such as daily mental exercises, training your mind to persist and transform abstract desires into tangible results. Real-life examples, like Andrew Carnegie's story, show how decisive action and mental discipline can turn poverty into empire-building success. Carnegie faced hesitation and fear, but trained his mind by setting definite goals and acting immediately, overcoming obstacles through sheer mental strength. Just as Carnegie applied Hill's principles to transform his life, you can do the same for your personal challenges, building an unbreakable mindset. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you adopted Carnegie's fearless approach, training your mind to seize opportunities without delay? In conclusion, as Hill's philosophy reminds us, motivation follows action, not the other way around, making mental strength a trainable skill. By overcoming fear, building discipline, and acting on clear goals, you can train your mind to conquer anything, echoing Hill's timeless wisdom. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start today with a Hill-inspired challenge. Write down one definite goal and take immediate action toward it. Practice auto-suggestion daily, repeating affirmations that reinforce your mental power and propel you forward. Remember, as Hill urged, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have. Share your progress with others to build accountability, fostering a community that supports your journey to mental invincibility. Embrace this path and watch as your trained mind turns every obstacle into a stepping stone toward unparalleled success and fulfillment. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, as Napoleon Hill profoundly stated in Think and Grow Rich, setting the foundation for building unbreakable mental strength. In our daily lives, we often face invisible barriers like fear, procrastination, and self-doubt that hold us back from reaching our full potential. Think about the person who dreams of starting their own business but remains paralyzed by the fear of failure, trapped in a cycle of hesitation. These mental blocks, as Hill described, stem from the 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, that erode our resolve and keep us stagnant. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect moment only deepens these fears, turning them into a relentless enemy of progress. Hill taught that mental strength isn't about eliminating fear entirely. It's about training your mind to act in spite of it, just as his successful role models did. So, ask yourself, what if you could break free from this cycle and train your mind to overcome anything, starting right now? Too often, we fall into the trap of waiting for motivation to strike before taking action. But Hill warned that this is a sure path to weakness. Motivation is fleeting, like a spark that fades quickly, leaving you stuck in inaction and reinforcing negative patterns in your subconscious. Consider the individual who delays applying for a new job, hoping for a surge of energy that never comes, only to watch opportunities slip away. Hill's principle of auto-suggestion reminds us that we can reprogram our minds through positive self-talk, turning hesitation into decisive steps. Indecision scatters your mental energy, making it impossible to focus on what's truly important, as Hill observed in the lives of underachievers. When you fail to decide, doubt creeps in like a poison, weakening your resolve and preventing you from building the mental fortitude needed for success. Hill emphasized that great achievers, like Andrew Carnegie, made definite decisions quickly and stuck to them, no matter the uncertainty. Fear and uncertainty amplify this problem, creating a loop where hesitation breeds more fear, draining your mental and physical resources. Hill's 6 basic fears manifest as constant whispers in your mind, urging you to play it safe rather than charge forward. Yet, as Hill proved through his interviews, bold action is the antidote. It transforms fear into fuel for growth. The solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill advocated, to bridge the gap between thought and achievement. When you act first, even if imperfectly, You build momentum that strengthens your mind and creates positive feedback loops. Each small step rewires your brain, making future actions easier and fostering a resilience that Hill called the key to mastery. Strengthening decisiveness starts with Hill's concept of the mastermind alliance, surrounding yourself with supportive people who reinforce your choices. Practice Hill's definite chief aim technique. Write down your decision clearly and review it daily to train your mind against hesitation. Begin with a simple ritual, like dedicating 5 minutes each morning to visualize and commit to your goals, building mental discipline over time. Remember, as Hill said, the first step is always the hardest, but it's the one that ignites your path to mental strength. To overcome hesitation, face your fears head-on, using Hill's auto-suggestion to reprogram your subconscious for courage. Acknowledge the fear, visualize your success vividly, and then act anyway, turning what seems insurmountable into manageable challenges. Hill taught that failure isn't the end. It's a teacher, as seen in Thomas Edison's relentless pursuit despite thousands of setbacks. Reframe failures as feedback, training your mind to bounce back stronger and more determined with each attempt. Persistence, a cornerstone of Hill's philosophy, means treating every obstacle as a stepping stone that fortifies your mental toughness. Self-discipline is the backbone of mental strength, as Hill believed it's the foundation that turns potential into reality. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of emotions, but with it, you can tackle tasks daily, regardless of how you feel. Hill's role models, like those he profiled, built empires through habits that wired their minds for success, such as early mornings and focused work. Start practicing positive habits today. Dedicate 10 minutes to auto-suggestion affirmations each day to reinforce your mental resolve. Schedule action blocks in your routine for key tasks and track your progress in a journal, as Hill recommended, to measure your growing fortitude. Clear vision and goals are the fuel that powers your motivation, aligning with Hill's idea of a definite chief aim to direct your mental energy. Vague goals lead to mental drift and confusion, but specific, vivid ones ignite an inner drive that propels you forward. Use Hill's visualization technique. Picture your goals as already achieved, feeling the emotions to strengthen your mind's focus and persistence. Define your goals now. Write a definite statement of purpose. Break it into actionable steps, and watch as your mind transforms abstract desires into reality. Look to real-life examples, like Andrew Carnegie, who rose from poverty by training his mind with Hill's principles of decisive action and discipline. Carnegie faced immense hesitation and fear but set clear goals, acted immediately, and built an empire through unyielding mental strength. Imagine applying that same mindset to your challenges. What could you achieve if you adopted Carnegie's approach today? In conclusion, as Hill taught, motivation follows action, not the other way around, and mental strength is forged through consistent, decisive steps. So, start now. Write down one definite goal, take that first action toward it, and practice auto-suggestion daily to train your mind for unbreakable resilience. Remember Hill's wisdom. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand, and work with whatever tools you may have. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, as Napoleon Hill powerfully stated in Think and Grow Rich, setting the stage for our journey to unbreakable mental strength. In today's world, many face invisible barriers like fear, procrastination, and self-doubt that hold them back from their true potential. Think about that person who dreams of starting a business but feels paralyzed by the fear of failure, just as Hill described in his analysis of the 6 basic fears. These mental chains create a cycle of inaction, draining energy and eroding confidence over time. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect moment only deepens the problem, as Hill taught that action is the key to breaking free. You might recognize this in your own life. A goal lingering in your mind, untouched because motivation hasn't struck yet. Hill's principle of definite purpose reminds us that mental strength begins with a clear decision, not fleeting emotions. Procrastination, Hill warned, is the enemy of opportunity, robbing you of the chance to build resilience. So, what if you could train your mind to act despite the fear, just like the successful figures Hill interviewed? Let's explore why you often don't take action, starting with the myth that motivation must come first. Hill's teachings on autosuggestion reveal that relying on emotions keeps you stuck, as they are unreliable and temporary. For instance, imagine someone waiting for the right time to apply for that dream job, only to watch weeks turn into months of regret. This delay reinforces mental inertia, weakening your resolve and making future actions even harder. Hill emphasized that successful people use autosuggestion, positive self-talk, to reprogram their subconscious for immediate steps. Indecision is another culprit, scattering your mental energy and leading to missed opportunities, as Hill observed in his studies. When you fail to decide, doubt creeps in like a poison, eroding the mental discipline needed for success. Hill called indecision a mental poison that prevents focus and achievement, drawing from stories of great leaders who acted decisively. Fear and uncertainty amplify this, manifesting as one of Hill's 6 basic fears, such as the fear of criticism or poverty. These fears create a feedback loop of hesitation, leading to exhaustion and a weakened state of mind. Yet, Hill's solution is clear. View fear as a temporary obstacle and train your mind to push through with bold action. The real solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill's principle of definite action builds mental momentum. Even if your first step is imperfect, it creates positive feedback loops that strengthen your neural pathways for future decisions. Hill taught that action is the bridge between thought and achievement, turning abstract ideas into tangible results. By acting now, you train your mind to overcome challenges, fostering a resilience that grows with each success. To strengthen decisiveness, surround yourself with a mastermind alliance, as Hill recommended, for support and accountability. Practice Hill's definite chief aim technique. Write down your clear decision and review it daily to build mental discipline. Start small with a 5-minute ritual. Decide on one task and commit to it immediately, training your mind against hesitation. Remember, the first step is often the hardest, but it's the one that forges unbreakable mental strength, as Hill advised. Now, let's tackle overcoming hesitation and fear head-on, using Hill's strategies to dissolve these barriers. Immediate action is your weapon, as it transmutes negative emotions into positive energy, according to Hill. Use autosuggestion by repeating affirmations like, "I am capable and fearless," to reprogram your subconscious mind. Here's a step-by-step process. First, acknowledge your fear without judgment, then visualize success as Hill suggested. Finally, act anyway. Each time you do, you retrain your mind to see fear as conquerable, not controlling. Learning from failure is crucial. Hill viewed it as a teacher, not a defeat, as seen in Thomas Edison's relentless experiments. Reframe failures as feedback that builds mental toughness, strengthening your ability to bounce back stronger. Hill's principle of persistence turns setbacks into stepping stones, wiring your mind for long-term resilience. Building self-discipline is the next key. It's the foundation of all achievements, as Hill believed. Discipline trains your mind to act regardless of emotions, creating habits that lead to sustained mental strength. Look at Hill's role models, like those who woke up early and tackled tasks daily, regardless of how they felt. These disciplined individuals wired their minds for success, turning routine into a powerful tool for overcoming anything. To practice positive habits, start with daily auto-suggestion sessions. Spend 10 minutes affirming your goals each morning. Schedule action blocks in your day for key tasks, aligning with Hill's emphasis on definite habits. Keep a journal to track your disciplined actions, as Hill advised, measuring progress and reinforcing mental pathways. Over time, this builds a fortress of mental fortitude that no obstacle can breach. Creating clear vision and goals is essential. Hill's definite chief aim provides the direction that fuels intrinsic motivation. Vague goals lead to mental drift, but specific ones ignite a fire within, as Hill illustrated in his success stories. Use visualization to imagine your goals as already achieved, strengthening your mental resolve and focus. Define your goals using Hill's framework. Write a definite statement of purpose, then break it into actionable steps. For example, if your vision is to overcome career obstacles, start with daily mental exercises to build confidence. This process trains your mind to persist, turning desires into reality through consistent effort. Let me share a real-life example from Hill's teachings. Andrew Carnegie's rise from poverty through decisive action and mental discipline. Carnegie faced hesitation and fear, but trained his mind by setting definite goals and acting immediately, building an empire. Just as Carnegie transformed his mental state, you can apply these principles to overcome your own challenges. In conclusion, remember Hill's wisdom. Motivation follows action, and with mental strength, you can conquer anything. Start today.